Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and today we're going to be going over the 2020 Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro. Sorry I don't have it in the army green. It seems like nobody wants to order that color, and I'm guessing it's because they're worried it's not going to sell, but I bet you any Toyota dealership that's ordered army green has sold it. But anyways, first and foremost, we're going to do a quick walk around on the 4Runner, then we're going to take it out to see how it drives. A big shout out and thank you to Larry H. Miller Toyota here in Murray, Utah for providing us with the TRD Pro. If you're in the market for a new Toyota, check out their inventory in the link below. Under the hood of the TRD Pro, we have a 4-liter naturally aspirated V6 that goes through a 5-speed automatic transmission. Power outputs are 270 horsepower and then 278 pound-feet of torque. And then in terms of fuel economy, 16 around town, 19 on the highway. Now let's go over the front end of the 4Runner, which is my favorite part. So we've got this cool hood scoop right here. I just think just how it looks aesthetically is absolutely awesome. I love how they do that on the TRD Pros. And then you can see we've got the projector lights just down below, fog lights right there, Toyota logo in the center, and then you can see you've got the sensor and everything just down below the Toyota logo. They don't have it integrated yet into the 4Runner. And then you just see how the front bumper and everything, just how that looks. And you actually see a little skid plate underneath, so it's a pretty cool look in general. And it actually says TRD at the very bottom of that, if you can read that. We've got a super solid tire and rim setup. So the rims are 17-inch rims. 275mm tires are wrapped around those rims. These are the Nitto Terra Grappler tires, so super good in the off-road. The setup in the rear is completely identical, and you can see you've already got little mud flaps from the factory. I really like that touch as well. And then let me give you guys kind of like a side profile on the TRD Pro. I love the look, especially with the rack on the top. That's just so cool that that comes from the factory. So we've got the key fob here for the 4Runner. Pretty simple, lock and unlock, and yeah, that's it. And there is obviously the little torn button as well. But anyways, we can pop to the back here where we can release the rear hatch, and it is hydraulic in function. You can see that this is the little cargo cover here in the rear, and then you've got a full little outlet in the back, which I think is pretty neat. Plenty of storage space back here. You actually can get 4Runners with a third row if you want, or if you want more trunk space. Obviously, do not opt for the third row. And then when you want to close the hatch, there's actually this little hoop here that you pull, and then you can pull that to do the hatch. But thank goodness I'm tall enough so I can just kind of throw it right down. Yes, we're gonna go over the rack in a minute, but let's go over things in the rear. So they've got these cool little tail lamps, and these are actually little LEDs there. I just like the look of that little cluster in general. Signature 4Runner look. 4Runner badging, all blacked out, the blacked out Toyota badging. Actually has a receiver hitch down below, and then it says TRD Pro there on the back. And then yes, you get this little storage rack up top from the factory. You can see that's already all built in. Really durable stuff, but it's cool that if you plan on going camping with this, which if you're getting a TRD Pro, I'm guessing you would be, and another TRD Pro badge there. But yeah, already comes with all of that from the factory. Got keyless entry, so that locks it, and then to unlock it, you just have to put your hand on the back of the door handle. There we go. And then it'll unlock. We can see the door panel here on the front looks identical to the rear. So again, all the soft padding all over the top. More red contrasted stitching. Again, we've got a little gray trim right there. More window controls. We've got a little door handle. And then another speaker for the sound system. Here are the seats in the front. So you can see again, full leather with the seat. More of the red contrasted stitching. And it's pretty soft in general. All of our power adjustments are just down here on the seats with the lumbar support. Do get rubber floor mats, which I would expect in an off-road vehicle like this. You can see the pedal layout just down below. These are to adjust your mirrors. You can see windshield washer fluid. You've got your light controls right here, and then that is for all the power outlets to pretty much turn everything on. And then the steering wheel is going to be manually adjustable. Start with the 4Runner, just put your foot on the brake, push the push start, and then it'll start right up, and you can see what the gauge is doing. Then you can kind of like a little graphic there in the center that says 4Runner. Got the steering wheel on the 4Runner, so here's the Toyota logo, and then you can see here that's the little center thing for the center screen, and then the pages button, that's also for the center. You got your collision warning, your lane departure assistance, and then cruise control is kind of hiding there in the little corner, crevice, whatever you want to call it, part of the steering wheel. Phone controls over here, and then this is more phone controls on the other side as well, and then fully wrapped with leather, and then it's kind of more grippy right here on this part of the steering wheel. And then you've got your light stock / turn signal stock, and then that is your windshield wiper stock on the other side. We've got all of our gauges here, so analog gauges on the left and the right side, and then in the center you've got a little screen. You can see there's a couple different menus that you can scroll through. The only thing that I think is pretty cool in these menus is that it gives you a couple different bits of off-road stuff. The steering angle is the coolest one, so you can see as I turn the steering wheel. But yeah, other than that, pretty simple. So we've got this center stack right here. Analog controls flank both of the sides. You can see that super similar to the other Toyota products, so you can kind of see the response time on the touchscreen. In general, it's got a couple different functions on it. You got navigation function on it as well. Hazard lights are just above it. If we actually pop the 4Runner in reverse, you can see that a backup camera will pop up. Pretty standard backup camera. And if we go over into drive, it just goes back to the touchscreen. So in terms of the camera system, looks like it just has a backup camera, and then analog radio controls are on the sides of the touchscreen system as well. And our analog climate controls just down here. I like how these buttons look. They look like super massive and durable, and then they're just for the dual zone climate. But yeah, it is a dual zone climate here. And then you've got a couple charging stations just down below right here. And then you've got these little storage areas, which I'm not sure what you'd put in here because it's too small for a phone. And then we're gonna get into this whole area in just a moment. Let's go over to storage first and foremost. So a little center console right here, decent amount of storage. And then the glove box, we've also got a decent amount of storage right there. And I actually like the trim above the glove box, but let's get back to the center console. So the center console has some cool functions. So this is actually for the rear window, which you can fully open up. So if you buy a 4Runner, you've got to have a dog, and you've got to put your dog in the back, and then you've got to open up the window. Okay, deal. Heated seat controls right here, and then they kind of do this carbon fiber looking trim. I don't think it's real carbon fiber, but it looks cool. This is your shifter for the different drive modes. So like your 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel high, 4-wheel low, all that kind of stuff, and it actually vibrates with the vehicle, which I think is cool. And this is the shifter for the 5-speed automatic, and you can shift the gears yourself if you would like. So up top we have a sunroof, pretty normal. It's a normal size sunroof here in the 4Runner. The controls for it are right there. You've got all of your light controls up here. Locker in the rear, you've got your A track, which actually helps you like turning on obstacles, all that kind of stuff. I think it's a really cool feature. Stability control. This is your crawl control, so obviously if I press this, it's going to tell me crawl control is not available. And then this is your different off-road drive modes, so if I turn that on, it'll actually tell me. I'm going to shift to neutral, go through them, but you can see the different drive modes that you can kind of scroll through, so I think that's a neat little thing, like loose rock mode, all that kind of stuff. So in terms of off-road tech, the 4Runner is pretty decked out. Now that we have gone over all the features on the 4Runner, let's talk about pricing on this TRD Pro. So this TRD Pro does have some cool stuff added to it, like it's got clear bra on the front and all of that. So this one in total stickers for about $54,000 before any type of market adjustment. And again, I think this one's pretty much fully loaded. I can't really imagine any other features other than like a premium paint color that could make this a little bit more money. But that all being said, let's take the TRD Pro out to see how it drives. And I feel really bad because this car has 2 miles on it. I've never seen a car with 2 miles on it. Sorry. So let's talk about visibility before we set off in the 4Runner. So you can see visibility over the hood is actually pretty good. That hood scoop looks cool, but it actually doesn't get in the way all that much. You can see visibility throughout both of the mirrors as well, and then the rear got big windows all around. So visibility in the 4Runner is actually pretty good in general, but let's set off now. So we are fully setting off here in the 2020 4Runner TRD Pro, and let's talk about road noise and ride quality. So ride quality is actually really smooth in the 4Runner. I'm actually really impressed by that. I expected with the tires that this truck does have that it would be a little bit rough for ride quality wise, but it's not. In terms of road noise, you do get a little bit of noise from the tires, which is expected, but other than that, it's pretty decent. You don't hear a whole lot other than just a little bit of tire noise and some sound from that exhaust, which I'm actually kind of liking. Now in terms of steering, the steering is really, really light on the 4Runner. There is a bit of vagueness, as you guys can see. Not a whole lot's happening there, but I mean, it's kind of expected. Most SUVs and trucks in general will have some steering vagueness, and this being an off-road SUV a little bit higher off the ground, that's even more expected. So pretty typical for the segment, I would say. So we're gonna get a little acceleration here at the 4Runner. Yeah, acceleration on it's decent. It sounds good though. I actually really like the sound of the exhaust note on this mix. It's actually pretty decent. It doesn't seem like it drones all that much, but it has a really nice sound to it, you know, especially for a V6. But other than that, you know, acceleration on it's pretty decent. A V8 would be nice, but I mean, 4Runner's selling such high volume that I can't really, even though I'll make complaints, people are still gonna buy these. Let's wrap this up with overall thoughts. I actually really love the exterior aesthetics on this. This is obviously a beast on the off-road, being the TRD Pro. I know that I've seen what a lot of other reviewers have said about the 4Runners and how, you know, it's a little bit more old school and all that, but you know, there's a lot of people that actually love that. They love the idea of having a new vehicle that's covered under warranty, but then is simple and old school, so that there's not a lot of crazy technology to brake and all that. And that's really what the 4Runner is great at, is it's a solid off-road SUV that's still comfortable, has just enough modern amenities, but it's not super like techy and gadgety to the extent that it's super confusing. Then there's also a bunch of little things to brake. So if that's kind of what you're looking for in an SUV, then check out this new TRD Pro. And there we have it, everyone, the 2020 Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro. Absolute monster on the off-road in terms of SUVs. But as always, a big shout out and thank you to Larry H. Miller, Toyota here in Murray, Utah, for providing us with the 4Runner. If you're in the market for new Toyota, check out their inventory in the link below. If you're stopping for the first time, please subscribe, comment down below what you thought, and then I will see all of you in that next video. Look at that exhaust tip. It actually sounds pretty cool, to be honest.